Welcome to the Heroic Voice. I am here today with Rik Offenberger of First Comics News, and we are going to talk about the Kickstarter that he has coming up for his next 10 books and probably a couple of other things as well. I understand that Rik got nominated, or his company got nominated for a couple of awards this past year. So let's. This is the Heroic Voice, where I talk to comic book creators and other interesting people on a variety of subjects. I am Dennis Maloney, publisher of the Heroic Multiverse, where we feature good girl and bad girl artwork, super babes, and all kinds of Silver Agey style stories. Let's go. Rik,
Okay. Well, thank you, Dennis. Thank you for having me on the show. I've known Dennis probably for 20 years,
maybe I
maybe
don't keep
25.
track anymore. Time flows
Yeah, it's been a
together.
while.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of his work and always been a big supporter of everything he does at Hero. I'll get behind him. Fan of Flair, fan of the Champions. Um, so it's nice to be on your show.
Well, I appreciate the fact that whenever we put something up on Facebook, you promote it for us. That's
Oh,
wonderful.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Any press release, anything. Um, yeah, no. And we've even had lunch together.
Yeah.
Um,
Not recently. We should
No,
change
not recently. It's been a little while.
that.
Work is tough. But yeah, we've got a new Kickstarter coming out in August, and we like to put our books together in groups. So we do a Kickstarter every 6 months, and whatever's finished goes into the Kickstarter. We've done as few as 2 comics. We've done as many as 10 comics.
Which is
I
what you're
guess
doing this
11.
time.
Yeah, 11 this time. I'm sorry, we did
11.
I'm sorry, 10 this
Cool.
time. We did 11 before once before. And it just gives people a chance to save some money on shipping, is basically the idea. If we did it every month, the shipping would be almost as much as the comics.
It's true. I've found that to be the case.
Yeah, and so we're trying to give people a bargain. And that's the real goal. We're launching a few new titles and we have a few new characters. We're going to do a new title called Two in One, which is like the old Marvel Two in One, where we have two stories in one comic. And that focuses on some stuff done by Bobby Ragland as our artist, and he does both stories. And one of them's my story, and one of them's Eric's story, but we kind of blend them together. They both feature characters from Firstguard, and that's one of our new titles. So we're trying to, give it a little boost as it comes out the door. Um,
Number
and
three.
then what?
Number three, the third one.
Firstguard's a brand new title for us. It will be a number one.
Oh,
And Firstguard will feature characters that we've had in the books before. Taranis is in the book, and Taranis is going into its fifth issue. And so we wanted to feature the new team and give them a little bit of a build up. They were in Agent Kirby last time, and so they're going to be branching off into their own book. Tyrannus has taken a little bit of break. He just finished a 4 issue arc, and so he's got a different artist for this one issue. Eric calls this a distant thunder, and so it's like a different tone and a different pace. It looks more like an old Kirby comic than what we normally do. Normally, we do something that's more of like a Bronze Age looking comic, style wise and art wise. Um, we try and make sure we have some modern sensibilities. In Agent Kirby, we're launching a new character called Fruit Fly. And our Fruit Fly is obviously one of the flying insect characters. And so he's in a little bit of a different generation than our other characters. He likes to rob from the 1% and give to the poor. He calls himself Hero Fluid as he's going back and forth between heroic and not so heroic, which gives our characters who have much more of a normal sensibility towards good and evil and who's the good guy and who's the bad guy and what you're doing that's right and wrong, and buttresses that up against modern sensibilities of what's fair and what's unfair. And so this is just the introduction for the character, but we plan to have some other, keep them going forward. We're launching a new title with Gilbert called Global G-Men. He wants to see G-Men is an old term from the 30s. It represent people who worked for the government. The G literally stands for government, and it represented FBI agents. Gilbert lives in the Philippines, and he wants to see the government characters who are the white knights in different countries.
Hmm.
And so he's going to move this around with different countries from different sensibilities, which is very similar to what we were doing. You know what I mean? But with a different flavor. Then we've got G-Men United, which is our anthology title, and it's going to be the last chapter of Otherworld, which ties into Taranis. We've got a story with Polita, who's a little girl, and she's out there trying to fight crime, and it's our first solo story with her. So that's going to be a little fun. And we have Sister Flag, and we're doing that with Ron Williams, who does Big Bang, if you're a fan of Big Bang. And he also does the other story for Otherworld. Um, every Kickstarter, we do a handbook so that if you want to know more about each of the individual characters than we can tell in the single story. It gives you all their background, all their details, everything you wanted to know. And that's usually a free comic. If you buy the other comics, we throw that in for free.
That's
If you
nice.
don't want to buy the other comics, you can just buy the handbook.
Well, why would anyone want to buy the handbook and not want to buy the other comics? Is that
Well,
it?
that was our thinking. And not only that, you only have 20 pages to tell a story. And some of the characters don't appear in all the pages, and it's hard to tell all the little details. But you know, we'll get to all of them eventually. But this gives people a look at who the characters are, gets to understand them, their motivations, and so we like that. Gilbert's also doing a book called Indy Girls. He had done this probably 10, 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, when before he was with us, before we had G-Man Comics, where he did a collection of pinups of different girls from different indie creators, and he put it together in a comic and just released it as a series of pinups. And so now he's doing that with us, but the characters aren't all ours. I mean, some of them are, but
Hmm.
it's a variety of different indie creators from a variety of different comics, and they all worked it out with him separately, you know, in advance so that he had the 20 that he wanted.
Yeah, people love pinup comics.
Yeah. And so that's going to be nice, and it gives everyone a chance to have some exposure for their characters. With the story of Lynx, Lynx is a character I created back when I had a comic shop. I've had the character for 33 years. We did a story when I had the comic shop, and we photocopied each page of original art. And I had lettered them with my Macintosh to tell you
Mhm.
how fun this was. And in the story we got we in Lynx, as the story progresses, we have two characters. They're both called Lynx. Lynx ends with an X, so it's plural in both and singular because you don't do XS. You know, so as our characters developed, we had an origin point where the female character had been kidnapped and the male character had been shot, and this trauma from this you know, from this abduction and the shooting is what led them to be superheroes. So
Ah,
now 6 years later, in our publishing history, 6 years later in our publishing history, they have to go and face the same trauma again.
hmm.
She goes after the guy who kidnapped her now that she's a superhero. He's shot, but not just one bullet in the shoulder while he's a civilian, but he's shot badly in the streets. And so we just kind of went back and revisited that and upped the ante.
Okay, that's cool.
In Sergeant Flag, we introduce Dan Hagen, who is actually one of the reporters at First Comics News. He does a column on Just Imagine where he talks about comic history. But he has an avatar of himself on Facebook with a jetpack. And I thought, this is great. We got to add this to the comic. But we also added the Golden Age Captain Battle so that they're two Rocketeers.
Ah, okay.
And so then, and it was natural that we put Dan in as, you know, the guy fixing the jetpack for Captain Battle so that he could go out into battle. And then just to make it more fun, Captain Battle only speaks in lines from his Golden Age comics, which are a lot stiffer than dialogue is now.
Uh-huh.
And the characters react to him talking like that.
Okay.
So I think that's a lot of fun.
All right. So you've got to
Uh,
have some reference material for that.
yeah, but that was easy enough. There weren't that many Golden Age appearances.
All right.
It's a fun character, but it's not a huge history. We were nominated for two heroic awards.
Uh-huh.
We were nominated for Best Story from Lynx, and in the it's almost a continuation story. In one story, we did the story with Polita, who became basically a young kid sidekick, similar to Robin. And our hero's daughter was killed, so she became the sidekick. Well, in this story, Lynx decides to exclude him as they go after the person who killed his daughter.
Hmm.
And then they have to decide how far they're willing to watch street justice play out instead of actually arrest the guy. And so that is a crux of the story, and that actually plays out later as they have to deal with the repercussions of how far they're willing to go and how far they're not.
Uh-huh. Have we covered all
That was
10?
done.
Have we covered all 10 of the comics at this point?
I'm sorry, what?
Have we covered all 10 of the comics that you have?
Yeah, we had covered all 10 of the comics.
All
We
right, let's
also, yeah.
go ahead. The second award.
The second one's also, they're competing against each other. They're both nominated for Best Story. And this one is the story of Sergeant Flag um, on basically a version of Cops. We
Oh,
called it Capes. And so a film crew follows him around as he decides to, does his mission. But he's not a PG-13 character. And so
mhm.
they have to put him on TV, and the language doesn't work, and the violence is over the top. And the film crew is really cool because it's a lifelong friend of mine, Bill Black, lifelong 40 years, and Mark Holmes, who are both in the book as the director and the photographer. And Bill, not only does he do AC Comics, but he also makes movies with his comic characters.
Yeah, yeah,
And so I thought that they would be perfect for the ones to be the film crew. And they both agreed. So that was kind of cool.
that's nice. Yeah. Okay,
One other project while I got you here.
sure.
We did a movie adaptation of Deuce and his friends.
Hmm.
The movie has not come out yet. The movie is scheduled for next year. But they had seen our work and they had contacted us. And so we took their movie script and turned it into a comic. And so it's a comic. They took the line art and made a coloring book out of it. And they threw in four crayons, and they're currently selling it at Walmart.
That's amazing. So if
So
anybody wants a copy of the Deuce coloring book, go to
yeah,
Walmart.
we
Yeah.
don't sell the Deuce comic ourselves because it was a license deal, but
Uh-huh.
they're selling it on Walmart now, and they have plush toys out now, and the movie's coming out next year.
Okay, so they're a little premature, I would think. But
I think they're trying to appeal to a fan base before the movie comes out.
to build the fan base, I
Yeah,
suppose. Well, we'll see how well that works out for them.
they did it
Um,
in English and Spanish. I had someone translate the whole comic into Spanish, and yeah, one of my friends, Edward Luna, translated it all into Spanish. And we had done a thing with 99 bottles of beer on the wall,
mhm.
which doesn't actually translate into Spanish because the song doesn't exist in Spanish. But there's a song about spiders that is virtually the same cadence for kids that does the same thing. And so he threw that in.
All righty. So let's backtrack a second here.
Sure.
Of those 10 comic books, actually, let me think about it. What was the name of the award? You said it was the Heroic Award?
Heroic Awards. They're going to be given at the Oklahoma City Comic Con. Last year they were at C2E2.
Huh, that's something I should have known about then, given the name of my company. Um,
Yeah, you would think, wouldn't you?
yeah, I was actually unaware of that, but it's the Oklahoma City Comic
Oklahoma
Con.
City Comic Con.
I should get in touch with them.
Yeah.
How does that award work? Is it fans or a panel of
No, it's a judge
experts?
panel. It's a
Huh?
judge
A
panel.
judge panel.
The gentleman Rick, who started it, had been a barbecue judge,
Hmm.
and he thought there should be an award for the independent comics.
Yeah, you could
And so,
slip them onto the barbecue and warm them up and eat them, I guess.
well, no, he used the same rules
Ah,
basically, and so he set up a judge panel, and so people get to submit, and we were nominated last year for best cover for one of
mhm.
our comics, and we ended up being a finalist, but we didn't win.
Well, you need to do me the favor of putting me in touch because I've not heard from them, which kind of surprises me. How many years has this been going on?
Two. This is the second year.
Two. Okay, well, that might explain why I had not heard of it. have trouble
Yes.
keeping abreast of things that are going on in the comic book industry. I've got so many irons in the fire.
Yeah.
Um, but please, send me contact information for that.
Oh yeah, for both them and for Bill.
All right. Now, as far as the books that are in the Kickstarter go, I highly recommend it. You have a track record, a wonderful track record of producing excellent comic books.
Thank
But
you.
is there one in particular that you think is most worthy of attention from people who would be interested in backing this?
Well, I think that I mean, we try and put together a mix of comics, and for most of the case, they're all done in one. Because I'm well aware that we're doing one Kickstarter every 6 months. Excuse me.
Well, no,
So,
let me stop here for a second here, because let's suppose hypothetically that there's somebody who only wants a few of them. Is there an option
oh
for?
yeah, no, no, we have an option for everything.
Okay, great.
So you can actually get. We've published 80 comics so far.
Hmm.
So you can buy one comic and just get the one, or you can buy 80 comics and get one of everything.
Okay,
Okay, or you can go then any amount in between.
okay.
And
So
so
if I understand this correctly, you're basically offering a package of all everything you've ordered, but with a particular emphasis on the 10 new books that are coming out.
right,
And let's say that you're in the middle between these 6 month Kickstarters and you decide you want the book. How do you go about getting the books that you want?
you're out of luck in between the 6 months.
Hmm?
You're out of luck between the 6 months.
No way to get them?
No way to get them.
Whoa.
We do not carry a back issue catalog or a store. We only offer them if you want them, you have to wait till we do the next Kickstarter.
Well, that's
Uh,
sad. Yeah,
well, we want to put emphasis on the Kickstarter because
sure.
that's how we pay the artists.
Okay.
And so if you want an issue, you're just going to have to wait till the next Kickstarter and enjoy whatever you're reading in between. And then that money pays the artists because our model is basically we run the Kickstarter that gives us the cash and use that to pay the artists for the next round.
Excellent. Okay.
And so I've got my artists all on board and we're ready to go for February 2026.
Okay.
And you've got a character in one of my books in February 2026 in a cameo.
I do. Who is it?
And and so
Tell me.
Flair's going to be in Sergeant Flag in 2026.
Okay.
We're not really pushing next year yet. I'll come back.
Well, we
But
should do a reverse on that.
yes,
You got to
absolutely.
have Flag show up in Flair at some
Oh,
point.
100%. Anytime you want.
Okay.
We had done this with Ben Dunn with Tomorrow Girl,
Hmm.
where we had done a crossover story, and we released it as Sergeant Flag meets Tomorrow Girl, and he released it as Tomorrow Girl number 10.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did with Sean Harrington's Lana the Spy, right?
Yes.
Those Lana Flair books that we did.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, those are great, by the way. Sean
Yeah,
knocked himself
absolutely.
out doing those.
And you have those available currently, right? They can
Oh
get
yeah,
those on
yeah,
Amazon.
everything's available from us. We don't make people wait. You can order those. You can get the digital stuff from drive-through. Do you have digital versions?
We do digital. I believe in digital because the thing is that if someone wants to start tomorrow with our books and they say, I want one of everything and I'm going to read through it, getting a
Okay,
box of 80 comics is a little daunting.
so there is a way for people to get it between Kickstarters.
No, 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 no. We offer the digital on Kickstarter too.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say that you can get digitals of our books on drive-through comics or from indieplanet.com,
Yeah.
or you could download them from our website at heroicmultiverse.com.
We do have trade paperbacks on Indie Planet.
Oh,
So when
okay.
we get to that point, we have 8 trade paperbacks.
Let's see them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So Agent Kirby has issue 1 and trade paperback 2, and these are 80 pages, so it's
Hmm.
4 comics. I did 2 different holiday specials, and so both of them are combined in here along with Judah Maccabee, the historic Judah Maccabee. I actually wrote that one with my rabbi. We wanted to make sure it was historically accurate, yet they were in superhero costumes. I thought that would be fun.
It's a good story.
We have,
Maccabees is a great story. Temple.
yeah, and a lot of action, so it worked
Uh,
out well. Um, then we have Invictus. We have Highlight. Um, we have the first volume of Lynx, which is covered by Mario Belli, who did and then Eric Coyle and Bill Black did the cover for Lynx. They had done the cover originally for one of the comics, and then our artist who did the coloring did two different versions. So we used one version for the comic and then one version for the trade.
All right.
This one we're still waiting for Indie Planet to put up. We just finished this
It
one.
takes them a couple of weeks to process that. So,
Yeah, and then Sergeant Flag has his first version out, and we also have Taranis, which I thought I had right there. I
yeah.
have Taranis, who also we're waiting for Indie Planet to put up. Actually, you can never find what you're looking for when you're looking.
And don't worry about it. I want to get back to the question
Yeah,
I didn't quite ask,
sure.
which was basically going to be which of these 10 is your favorite?
Well, I mean, Agent Kirby is the character that really resonates with me the most. It's a Silver Age, Bronze Age style Captain America type story, where the villains are most frequently neo-Nazis
Hmm.
or people who are pose a threat to the country. And he puts together a team, sort of like Mission Impossible. So he picks team members. You remember Peter Phelps at the beginning where he's going through the pictures, deciding who he wants on the team. He picks whoever he wants for the team. So the team changes each issue. And it also includes six backer characters.
Should I
So
ask if this Agent Kirby name has an origin?
his name is Simon N. Kirby.
Ah, okay. I
Okay, so
suspected
it's
as much.
very, very, very obvious.
Yeah.
And Sergeant Flag is named Rob McFarlane.
Ah,
So you can see where that story goes to.
yeah.
They're very
Okay.
reflective of what you're going to get when you purchase. Um, so in Agent Kirby, we get six backer characters. It took me 30 years from the time we made Lynx #1 and put it in the comic shop and gave it out to customers to the time I actually published it, printed it, and sold it to customers.
Hmm.
So I don't want everyone else to wait 30 years to see their characters in print. So we have a
Okay.
pledge level. Your character joins our universe and is in the story. It's a cameo appearance.
Sure.
They appear in a spot because the art has to be done before we do the Kickstarter. So Gilbert leaves out spaces for the other characters to be drawn in, and then he uses their powers and tries to work them in as he can, and then we add them to the handbook. So you got a handbook page for your use in the future, which tells your character, your powers, your abilities, and your characters in print,
Cool.
and then secure a trademark for it too. And so it does some things for the indie creators. They get to experience this and have that experience at least 30 years faster than I did.
All righty. Why don't we? I'm going to make a recommendation here, which I think I've already done actually, but let's do it again. I would recommend that people actually throw money at you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Support this Kickstarter, get these books, pay the artists for the work that they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best thing that you can do for independent comic book publishers. Go around the disaster that's been comic book distribution for the last couple of decades in the comic book industry and take it direct to the publisher, cut out the middleman. And supporting projects on Kickstarter, in particular these 10 books, is the thing to do. Um, do you have anything to add to that, Rick?
No, well, I really appreciate that. The comic book landscape's a little scary at this exact moment as they're trying to deal with Diamond's bankruptcy. And we have been looking for inroads that financially made sense to us to get into Diamond for a long time. And the closest we got was the Antarctic Press crossover, where they got, the Tomorrow Girl appearance showed up in comic shops. But looking at Dynamite being owned $1 million, I'm kind of happy that
Yeah,
we didn't have to bite that bullet. Uh, so we're doing direct to customer. Um, Literally, all the proceeds from this book go into making the next books. The artists are sitting there waiting. They're going to start on September 15th because the Kickstarter runs August 1st through August 31st. It takes 15 days for Kickstarter to give us the
yeah.
funds. And the only thing we're doing with those funds is paying the printer and paying the artists. The books are today they're not 100% complete, but we're not launching today. Today they're some of the books are 100% complete, and some of them are just finishing lettering and coloring and in process. But by the time by the time the Kickstarter starts, we don't like to be kind of in debt trying to hit deadlines. We want to the day we get the funds, we want to put the order in.
Just to be clear on that, you said you haven't started yet. As we record this, this is the day after July 4th, right?
Right.
So we're doing this in plenty of time to have it ready to
Oh
add
yeah.
to your Kickstarter. And, as I said when we spoke about this, I encourage you to put this video in as a video for your
Oh,
Kickstarter.
100%.
And we will
100%.
add some images, which I would hope that you would email to us so that we can
Oh yeah.
include them.
Oh, absolutely.
And let's wrap this up with any last thoughts that you might have here, something that we didn't cover that should be covered.
Well, I mean, I love comics. I've loved comics my whole life. I loved your comics when I was getting them in comic shops, and I had no idea who you were. I, you know
Sometimes
what I
I don't
mean?
know who I am, honestly.
I love indie comics. I've really enjoyed the medium, and I've spent my whole life, in some respect as a reader. I was a comic shop owner. I'm a journalist. I was a judge on the Eisner Awards. I'm a current judge on the Inkpot Awards, and I just love every aspect of comics. And I hope I'm producing something that other people will love. But I'm producing the comics that I write because it's me and Eric writing these. The comics that I write are the comics that I wanted to read. They're the stories I wanted to tell, and they're the things that I enjoy. It's a mix of action and some humor and some fun, and I hope people have a good time. Uh,
I think on the evidence, given the support you've been getting with your previous projects, you're doing stuff that people want.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but our original editor was it was Lou Mugen, who
Mhm.
had a long history with you,
Yeah.
and he was a friend of mine, and so he was in the early days before he passed, he was reading all my scripts and telling me what I was doing wrong.
Yeah, I miss Lou. Lou
Yeah, I
was a
did
great
too.
guy. I still have a file folder filled with scripts that Lou did that we were never able to produce. Maybe someday we will be able to.
Yeah.
I hope so. All righty, let's wrap it up, Rick. Thank you for
Okay.
this again,
Thank
and I
you.
encourage people to support your projects on Kickstarter. And I also encourage people who are viewing this on the Heroic Voice to like, share, and subscribe, because that is, in fact, the only way we will grow this channel. So, anyway, have a good weekend.
Thank you.
We will do this again sometime.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.